We'll start with the prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukum Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurundi Natarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Wonderful. So I think we are starting with 15th chapter. Correct, Prabhu, today? We finished 14th chapter last week. There was the last verse we finished.
Yes, Prabhu.
Wonderful. So 14th chapter was three modes of material nature. The 15th chapter is specifically talking about the yoga of Supreme Person, not an ordinary yoga, but the yoga of the Supreme Person. So we will see Prabhupada beautifully explaining overall purpose of this chapter. So the first verse starts with Sri Bhagavana Vacha
Bhagavan Vacha
Urdhvamulam Adasakham
Vamulam Adasakam
Ashwatham Prahur Avyayam
Ashwatyam Prahuravyayam
Chandamsi Yasya Parnani
Chandamsi Yasya Parnani
Yastam Veda Savedavid.
Yastam Veda Savedavit.
Translation: The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree. What kind of tree? Imperishable. There is no end to it. That has its roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is knower of the Vedas. Now, this is very interesting. So, we were talking about the three modes of material nature in the previous chapter. This chapter is talking about how spiritual world, this word specifically, and material world. Material world is a perverted reflection. So when you see a tree nearby the lake, when you see the shadow of the tree in the lake, it looks upside down. So this material world is a perverted reflection, which means what? Love in spiritual world is a lust in material world, right? Anger in spiritual world, which is positive, Hanuman used it for Krishna's service, is completely perverted here, right? So Prabhupada mentions beautifully in the purport, after the discussion of importance of bhakti yoga, one may question what about the Vedas? Because other than Bhagavad Gita is also one of the Purana, right? Bhagavad Purana, right? So we have Bhagavad Purana. Upstairs, Prabhu, Yugal Kishore Prabhu's room.
अच्छा अच्छा ओके
Please come.
कमिंग
What about Vedas? Veda Vyas wrote, our understanding is Ragveda, Yajurveda, Atharvaveda, and Samaveda. He wrote those four Vedas. So we understood there is Bhakti Yoga, but what about the Vedas? Prabhupada, right? It is explained in this chapter that the purpose of Vedic study is to understand Krishna. Yeah. Yeah, we can use. Even I'm comfortable. No, it's better, bro. It just Hare Krishna. Thank you. This is perfect, actually. This makes it easier. So, thank you, bro. So we finished 14th chapter. We are on 15th chapter. Prabhupada explains. One may say, okay, we talked about Bhakti Yoga, but what about four Vedas, which Ved Vyas wrote? It is explained in this chapter that the purpose of Vedic study is to understand Krishna. Like, for an example, you go to school. What is the purpose of going to the school? Yeah, that is one side effect of one medium. But no, I want to earn money. Yeah, future. Yeah. Right? I want to earn money. Yeah. That's all. I just, at least in the current context of education. In the previous context of education, education helps us to actually go deeper and understand. Like, for an example, if I don't know how to read and write, how will I read Vedas? Right? So earlier time, people would study to Gurukul. One is to build the character, and second is to build competency. Now today's school system is only competency, right? No character. Whether I become an Osama bin Laden or whether I become a sadhu, right, a saintly person, doesn't matter. We are here to teach you how to mint money, how to be competitive, not character. So ultimately, why I'm bringing this point, the purpose of Veda is to not, like, this is one thing, we most of us haven't studied Vedas, but Vedas actually talk about how to live in this world. But what about after death? Oh no. What about cycle of birth and death? No, it doesn't talk about that. How can one be pious in this material world so that his life go, I wouldn't say comfortably, because COVID wasn't under my control, because I'm in material world. So irrelevant of whether I'm a CEO, whether I'm a CXO, whether I'm a trillionaire, or whether I'm a roadpati, I have to go through that. There's no option. So apparently little comfortable. That's the whole idea, right? Therefore, one who is in Krishna consciousness, who is engaged in devotional service, already know the Vedas. So one may say, oh, you're reading Bhagavad Gita, do you know Vedas? Like, now we are at 15. We'll finish 18 chapter after that. Hey, do you know Vedas? Bhagavad Gita include Vedas, because purpose of understanding Vedas is to know Krishna. And I'm reading about Krishna. So I'm already crossed over that stuff. Again, this is not about being proud or anything, but we are talking about especially those mundane people, right? The entanglement of this material world is compared here to banyan tree. Now, this is very important. We all talk about, I want to grow in spiritual life, but there are so many issues. This chapter focuses on that. The entanglement of this material world is compared here to banyan tree. It's not that Krishna doesn't, he himself created material world. So there is a whole thing explained in Bhagavad Gita about how this material world works. For an example, um, maize, right? People go spend money on maize. So there are hints on the way, this way, this way. Those hints gives you the way to understand how to get out. Bhagavad Gita clearly gives you an indication how to get out of this material world. It also gives you an inner meaning, inner way, and inner understanding of how this material world works. Because if I know how it works, I will not be entangled. But unfortunately, we are still entangled. That's why this chapter is very important for us. For one who is engaged in fruitive activities, what is fruitive activities? I go to work to mint money. I come to bhakti, and if I'm using my collar up, hey, look at me how I'm singing. Look at me how I'm giving the class. Fruitive. That's not bhakti. Am I making sense? Fruitive activities means what is in it for me. Everything in the material world is around that. What is in it for me? Like, you go to restaurant. Do you go to restaurant to see what other people are eating and just leave from there? No. What other people are eating, so that I understand what I should order. When I go to work, Why do I go to work? What is in it for me? Because I'll get the salary. I don't go to work because my friend is getting the salary. Does it happen? Oh, my friend is getting salary, that's why I'm just going to his office. And yeah, what is in it for me? Whole world is around it, right? So for one who is engaging in fruitive activities, there is no end to the banyan tree. My goodness, stuck in the cycle of birth and death. He wanders from one branch to another, to another, to another. In, at least I know, Vrindavan, there are a lot of monkeys. They keep jumping from one branch to another, one branch to another. What does it mean for us in this material world? If we don't take spiritual life seriously, the next womb is ready. Last 4 or 5 days I've been extremely ecstatic. This Prabhu who came from Chowpatty, he came from Mumbai. He gave a different dimension about bhakti. There are two kind of bhaktis. One is Vaidhi bhakti and second is a Raganuga bhakti. Vaidhi bhakti means I am told to do. Why am I chanting? Because I love Krishna. Well, not really. I'm chanting because I'm told to chant. Why am I attending Bhagavad Gita class? Because I'm a shrewd person. If you don't come in Bhagavad Gita class, I'll stop the class. I don't come. If I'm coming for that perspective, then that's not good, right? So, in the material world, we are going from one world to another. And why we are practicing Vaidhi Bhakti? Because kind of 1% we understand maybe there is Krishna. It's a reality of the world, to be honest. Even after practicing bhakti, if I know if Krishna is there, if I know the spiritual world is there, my impetus to live in material world, my impetus to expand my portfolio, I'll use this portfolio word, will be reduced, man, limited. This second aspect of bhakti is spontaneous. When I come to temple, I can't stop myself dancing. I can't stop myself doing kirtan. Bhagavad Gita is going on. I'm ecstatic. Wow, what a wonderful conversation, Krishna. We are not at that platform, but that's where we want to go. In the spiritual world, right? We have to be a perfect being to go back to spiritual world. Otherwise, we can't, right? So, the tree of this material world has no end, and for one who is attached to this tree, there is no possibility of liberation. What is this? What a powerful line. Let me repeat. The tree of the material world is no end. We know about, we spoke about it. There is no end to this material world, unlimited universe. And for one who is attached to this tree, which is this material world, there is no possibility of liberation. Even after I'm practicing bhakti, if my attachments are still there around this world, man, it's very difficult. I went to New York for Rath Yatra, and there was, interestingly, there was some T20 match, some, I don't know what was, India Pakistan, yeah. So it wasn't the exact scene like it used to be back in India, where everything will be like a curfew. I remember I used to watch. People flew from different places to actually just to see the match. If you tell them, can you come for Rath Yatra, Jagannath? I want to watch T20. What does that mean? Attachment. I want to enjoy. I want to be in this material world. I want it.
Well, if my family was not here, I would have I would also
That's okay,
tried to
bro.
watch.
But basically, unless we hear these lines, we understand where am I, and it's
Yeah.
okay. Self introspection is not to give ourselves a slap. Self introspection is for बोलते हैं ना कितना पानी में हूँ. And when we know कितना पानी में हूँ, then you will think about coming out. But now there are two aspects to that. One is कि मैं पता है, I know कि कितना पानी में हूँ. इसके बाद भी I don't try to get out of the water, and every time प्रभु भक्ति नहीं होता है, प्रभु बहुत मुश्किल है, प्रभु चैंटिंग पे फोकस नहीं होता है, ये नहीं होता. How is it going to happen if I like what am I doing in material world? It will not. I will not develop attachment for bhakti as long as I have attachment for this material world. So it's a crystal clear. We should know that answer internally, that why I'm not growing in bhakti, because I don't have an asakti from this material world. I want to enjoy this material world. I want to relish this material world. When he came, this devotee, I asked him, He said a beautiful point. He said Chitraketu, King Chitraketu, we spoke about him multiple times in multiple contexts. His life was great. He was enjoying life. But then he lost his son. Everything is changed all of a sudden. And at the time he's ready to listen Bhagavad Gita instruction. Right? So very important for us to understand time is very limited. Like I was just giving an example. Whether you shave your head or over the year the hairs will go away. Ultimately, that is what it is. Reality.
Yes.
Right? Same way, whether I whether I detach myself with the knowledge, understanding I'm not belonging to this material world, then better than if I don't do that, at the time of death, I'm anyhow going to be taken away. Whether it's my family, whether it's my this thing, right? So the Vedic hymns meant for delivering, elevating oneself are called the leaves of the tree. What is the Vedic knowledge? The Vedic knowledge is the leaves of the tree which can liberate us. This tree's roots grow upward because they begin from where Brahma is located. What is that? This is very interesting, right? This is the beauty of Srila Prabhupada's purport. What is that? The tree's root grow upward. In the material world, what is the highest planet? We have seen that chart. Anybody remembers?
Highest planet probably.
Yeah, it's a planet. We talked about there is a material planet. There is a Haribol. Thank you for joining, bro. What's your name?
Navanshu.
Navanshu. Thank you for joining, bro. We are discussing chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna says here in this the tree's roots grow upward because they begin from a Brahma is located, the topmost planet of the universe. So there is a Prithvi Loka where we are living. There are Patala Loka, where hellish people are Pitra Loka, and all those planets are down. Above them are different planets, and then on top of it's heavenly planet. Heavenly planet is not one. There are many heavenly planets. Moon planet is also heavenly planet. Sun planet is also heavenly planet. What is the meaning of heavenly planet? The quality of life you can't perceive in the material world. You can't perceive. So, for an example, Indra. Indra is a post. He's not a person. Indra is not a person. It's a post. So, like CEO is a post. Not that one CEO remains forever. No, CEO is a post. One person is occupying a CEO. So now Indra is a position. So one person's based on the piety goes to heavenly planet and becomes a king. You know how they die? Not that they have to die. Now your balance is over. Go. Immediately they disappear. Go back to the material world. Disease? No. Old age? No.
They have that benefits.
They have that benefits. But birth is guaranteed. Very interesting. If I'm not dying, how is that birth? My quota is over. Like for an example, I remember when I came from India, I was given a prepaid credit card. ICICI Bank, I got this. That has loaded $500 or some $100. You go and take it. We will load it next month. If your tenure is over, they will not load the money. Right? Which means I don't have money. What I have to do is I have to get out. Similarly, Indra is a position. When their credit card preloaded, right? This credit card is a premium credit card. 10% cashback. Not 3%, 2%, 10% cashback. And then on top of it, all restaurants are free. Staying in the hotel is free. Okay. On top of it, spa and everything is free. Okay. You have a five-star hotel, any five-star seven is free. You don't have to pay for it. Luxury is unlimited. Whatever you want. You want mangoes today, you'll get mangoes today. Whether even it's winter. But when credit card is over, come back.
So death is there is no disease, right?
There is no disease.
There's nobody will.
There is an end. Rather than death, let me define it. There is an end for their tenure. For us, it's a death. So there is an end, and then they take birth again.
Probably from that heavenly planets, can't they go to
I'll come to that.
Krishna Loka or
Yes,
whatever?
yes. This was the beautiful topic which was covered. When a soul, now this is very important, a pure soul, when he's perfected in Bhagavad Gita, perfected in spiritual life, he goes back to spiritual world. So, for an example, you are in an elevator, you go to New York, your room is at 90th floor, 90th floor. You'll go to one first, you will to go to two, you'll go to three. Even if it doesn't stop, it says that, oh, it'll start from 10, but you have to go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nobody says, oh, 1 to 100, then 100. No, 100, no, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. So when the soul leaves the body, spiritual soul, which is also, soul is spiritual, but a person who has perfected their life, they are ready to go back. They go from these planets. So they may go to see heavenly planet, but they are not attracted to that. And they go other planet, Brahmaloka, and then finally go to their destination. But a person, Prabhu, I'll tell you, if things are going perfect in your life now, your bhakti will never grow.
That's true.
Bhakti will, at least some people come to bhakti, there are people who are enjoying. You go outside, beautiful summer, they are enjoying like anything, taking a boat in the water, doing fishing and all that stuff. Life is fantastic. They feel like that. Sometimes you get bewildered, man, why am I struggling? And even after coming to Krishna consciousness, even after studying Bhagavad Gita, I'm a pious soul, why am I suffering? Well, if you go to hospital, there is no discrimination there. Right? When I get old, I have to get in. Whether I was enjoying on the boat or whether I'm here. When COVID came, hey man, whether I'm a millionaire, whether I'm enjoying, everyone has to go through that suffering. Nobody is spared. So when people go to heavenly planet, the enjoyment is so much easy to forget bhakti.
We are able to forget here itself.
Yeah,
We cannot even imagine.
imagine here. It is said when somebody is cursed in heavenly planet, they say go to Prithvi Loka. Can you imagine? Like a gutter. Anybody likes to, any of us want to be in gutter? No. Right? Here we don't see gutter, but India we have seen gutters. Do you want to go there? No. But we are in gutter, we are thinking, oh man, look at this. Look at me. I have $400. I have 400k dollars in my account. I have this 401k in the gutter. Whether cockroach has a 10-bedroom house according to them, or whether it has pizza, lasagna, and all, gutter is a gutter. We forget that. Even the cockroach forget that. Enjoying. Wonderful. So even heavenly planet, it will be more difficult to practice bhakti. When we come to material world, I gave you an example about Chitraketu. Perfect. Chitraketu is not a 9 to 5 guy. I want to spell this out. We work 9 to 5, hearing so much instruction from our boss. When we come back, we have to drive in the traffic. King Chitraketu was a king of the earthly planet. Unlimited money.
I just want to take some
Yes,
plans.
but unlimited luxury. Nothing else is actually needed in his life, but he doesn't have a son. And then he gets the son. He doesn't want to listen anything. Hey, in your luck, there is no son. His spiritual master, no, I want the son. Please, please, please. I want the son. Same way we do. I want a green card. I want this car. I want this bungalow. Please, please, please. That's it. I just need that. If you give me everything, will be okay. You think if I have a green card, if I have a citizenship, I will not get old? Will I get a free entry to hospital? Oh, please, please, sir, you have a green card. Show me. Please, please, we will garland you. No difference. Doesn't care. But if I have this problem solved, that will be perfection of my life. When you get it, that is gone now, second level. So why I was telling Chitraketu Maharaj and everything, he lost his son. And at that time, his spiritual master came to give Bhagavad Gita. Now everything is penetration. Everything he is hearing is able to penetrate. Why? In misery, in suffering. I lost everything. So in heavenly planet, if I go, when I have everything, I will not practice bhakti. Right? So the topmost planet is Brahmaloka. We were talking about heavenly planet. top of the material world, which means how long we will live? Maximum 100, maximum. And that 100 is like, man, we pray, can I die, man? I'm tired. I was living in a community where most of the people were old, struggling to walk, struggling to get out of the home, to even take the mail, go to mailbox and check. What is the point of this life? I'm living for the sake of living. So many issues. This body is not working. This is not working. This part is not working. In Brahmaloka, our 1,000 years, how many years?
1,000 years.
Is equal to one day. And one night is equal to another. 1,000 nights is equal to one night there. Imagine that is the span of Brahma's life. But again, is there an
1,000
end?
year is equal to 1 day.
1,000 years here is equal to one day.
Yeah.
Plus 1,000 nights here is equal to this thing. Is one night. So day and night. Imagine that is a span of life. But again, Brahma is a position. When this world is destroyed, Brahma's life is over. Right? So that is the end. If one can understand the indestructible tree of illusion, then one can get out of it. I went to Disney World December. Kids wanted to go. They take you to a park. They we went for one of the ride. They asked us to take 3D glasses.
Mm.
We wore the 3D glasses. You all may have experience. I'm not sharing something new thing here. And you go through the ride, it feel like you're just get, somebody's throwing you out, or you're just falling off from a cliff. What I did is I just removed the glass, 3D glass. Hey, hold on, why? It was nothing. It was just picture going on like this on the screen.
In Cheetah.
Yeah. Yeah, just yeah, exactly. The chair was vibrating, feeling, oh, I'm dying. That's material world. That's illusion. What is illusion? I am wearing the glasses of this body, and I'm thinking, she's my wife. They are my kids. He's my boss. This is my house. This is my car. This is my 401k. You remove glasses. You remove the body. Can the soul take 401k? Useless. Will green card help me? Oh,
All
well,
soul takes is karma.
yeah. Only I have is bhakti. Karma is definitely there. But karma is for me is to suffer punya and pap. Karma is everything is about punya and pap. Punya, I'll be rewarded. Pap, I will be suffering. But beyond that is bhakti. That is what we are practicing now. Right? So the process of extrication should be understood. How do I get out? In the previous chapter, it has been explained that there are many processes by which to get out of the material entanglement. Like when we pass 12th, you have an engineering, you have medical. Here you have even more options. I don't know. For us at the time, either you become an engineer or you become a doctor. That's it. Or you become a CA. Whatever. These are the only three lines. Now you have 100. So to cross over this material world, there are multiple processes Krishna has given in Bhagavad Gita. That's what Prabhupada is talking about. And up to the 13th chapter, we have seen that the devotional service to Supreme Lord is the best way. Indians are known for what? Choose the best one. Why I want to take an IT job? Not that I like computers.
Money.
Money. Because that will give me more money. That will give me more comfort. Or doctor, whatever it is. Just giving an example. Bhakti is the best way. So we use our smartness there. Man, I want to get there. I want to pass out with that high score. Now, the basic principle of devotional services, detachment from material world, material activities, and attachment to transcendental service of the Lord. Material world and spiritual world are like two boats. Material world and spiritual world. I have 2 feet.
You cannot ride both.
I cannot go in both. What we try to do, unfortunately, we know this From theoretical perspective, we try to do that in this. I want money also. I want bhakti also. I want cars also, luxury also, and I want bhakti also. I want 401k also, I want bhakti also. Unfortunately, no. One day we have to make a call. Man, what am I supposed to do? Here and here, then I will not get there. I have to come to this side, spiritual side. Otherwise, it's impossible. It may be discouraging. That's not the point. The point is, if a patient is sick, he has a cancer, he goes to the doctor, and doctor says you have a cancer. That is discouraging, man. I don't want to hear. Right? If oh no, this I'm an optimistic person. I don't want to hear. Hey, man, you have a cancer. I'm just telling you the truth. Bhagavad Gita is giving us the truth. I can never go back to Godhead where Krishna resides, which is free of miseries. There is no beginning, there is no end. I will have to be in one boat. That's not a material boat. We have to be in the spiritual boat. So the process of breaking attachment to this material world is discussed in beginning of this chapter. Man, this is the crux. What is it? The process of breaking attachment to this material world is the first part of this chapter. Now we understood in the previous chapter, you missed that, we will cover that sometime as well. In the previous chapter, Krishna talked about how this material world is. And now, when you know this material, for an example, you go for exam. So you see previous year's papers, what were questions were asked. You prepare all these questions because maybe some of these questions will be repeated. So you prepare yourself, right? So similar way in this thing, what are we speaking about is process of breaking attachment to material was discussed in the beginning of the chapter, which is I'm studying the previous year's chapters, previous year's papers to pass through my current one. This chapter is like clues. How do I get out of this material world? So, what are the steps we talked about? I cannot go back to spiritual world by putting my feet in two places. So I have to be here. Everybody is convinced. They know. We know that I want to be in the spiritual boat. But I have to understand how to lift my feet from the material boat to the spiritual boat. That's what it's covered in the first part of this book, chapter. The root of this grows, yeah, process of, yeah. The root of this material existence grows upward. This means that it begins from the total material substance from the topmost planet of the universe. Starts from the bottom. We talked about in this verse, when you go near the lake, there is a tree next to the lake. What you see, if you see the reflection of the tree in the lake, the root shows upward and the branches show downward. That's how the material world is, which is different from spiritual world. So from there, the whole universe is sorry. The root of this material existence grows upward. This means this means that it begins from the total material substance to the topmost planet of universe, right? Spiritual world. So let me cover this aspect because this is important. We talked about we are on Prithvi Loka. We talked about Patala Loka. Above that is heavenly planet. Above that is Brahma's planet. That becomes one universe. Okay, and there are many universes like that. Shells, right? Egg shaped. Above them, all of them. Not that now one this guy has this guy has no. Above all of them, there is Brahman Jyoti, which is the light from Krishna's body. Above that are spiritual planets. Above them are spiritual planets, which we call it as Vaikuntha Loka. We have heard about in our childhood. Those are Vaikuntha. There are many various planets. Not that the Bhakta of Ram also goes at the same place. Krishna's Bhakta also goes to the same place. Vamande's Bhakta also goes there. No, there are different planets even in spiritual world, but they are spiritual, not material, right? So what I was saying here, from there the whole universe with the so many the topmost planet of the universe. So this is what we talked about. From there, the whole universe is expanded with so many branches representing the various planetary systems. Every universe has planetary systems which govern. And you know what? How do we get the karma effect? There, people could also come in our life. Even the planets can give us karma. A lot of times it happens when tough things going in our life. You see, your planetary stuff is
Oh,
messed up. You go to any astrologer, when you lose your job, or you're not getting married, or you're not having kids, you go to astrologer. Oh man, you have this combination wrong. Who's is that? The planet who are making is that? No, my karma. Planets are just covering that aspect, right? So the fruits represent the results of living entities activities, karma. This tree, what we are talking about, is a tree which is up or down. Leaves are the Vedas, right? There is no end of this tree unless I get out of this material world, right? And the fruits are the karma. So I am in this material world, in this tree, trying to enjoy those. Um, Namely religion, entity activities, namely religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. Now there is no ready experience in this world of tree situated with its branches down and its rooted upward. But there is such a thing. That tree can be found beside a reservoir of pleasure, reservoir of water. I just mentioned about it, right? We can see that the tree on the bank of the river reflects upon the water with their branches down and root up. In other words, the tree of this material world is only a reflection of tree in the spiritual world. In the real world, spiritual world, the tree is straight. Straight, I mean, the roots are down. Apparently, we feel, oh no, when I go to tree, the roots are down. It's not material world. It's an it's an analogy for us to understand how material world is different from spiritual world. Krishna is giving that, right? So, um, the reflection of the spiritual world situated on desire, just as the tree's reflection is situated on the water. Why are we here? Only one thing: desire. What is unlimited desires? Like you see, when you go and see the ocean, unlimited waves, like that. Our whole existence is unlimited desire. Want this, that. Right? That's the problem. One who wants to get out of this material existence must know this tree through analytical study. Then he can cut off his relationship with it. Like we acquire knowledge in school to reach to our position, same way that's a material knowledge. Now what we are doing is we are trying to acquire spiritual knowledge. Spiritual knowledge will break our faith in this material world. What is it? You see Srimad Bhagavatam, which is just after Bhagavad Gita. You see so many examples. Like I gave an example, Chitraketu, that's from Srimad Bhagavatam. You see these examples. Oh man, really this happens? Like I remember I was working back in Pune, India. My job was fantastic. Salary, fantastic. Boss, fantastic. Work, fantastic. Family life, fantastic. I wasn't working like 12 hours there. And I was reading this verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. This world is a dukhaliyama shashvatam. This world is full of miseries. I asked my mentor, Prabhu, here it says world is miserable. My life is going fantastic. What do I need in life? Wonderful wife, I have it. Wonderful job, I have it. I have bank balance, I have car, I have house, I have my parents, I don't have health issues. Life is perfect. Why Bhagavatam is talking about this thing? This was a mistake I did. Is that a mistake? Well, yes or no? Because that's a reality. I denied the reality. I came here. My wife was diagnosed with disease. They said, man, she cannot live for more than a year. Oh, really, man? What, you guys don't know anything, man. I'll go to India. And I had a cousin here who's doctor. If you take her in the plane, she will die halfway because her lungs are not working. So Stay here. Whatever they are saying, just take the medicine. So they said we can only extend her life by giving her medicines. 5 years suffered like anything. Finally, they said, man, we cannot do anything. She will die now. Medicines have extended to whatever extent they could do. We cannot go beyond that. What is the alternate? She needs lung transplant. She needs both the lungs. I'll tell you, this is what was. Remember the base principle. What did I say? My life is perfect. She got lungs. They said out of 1 million people, she'll get one lung matching. She got it. Went through a terrific surgery. I'll tell you. If you see that surgery, you would understand this material world is a horrible place. Came out doing fantastic. Within 2 years, she got infection. She died. Now, is that because is that a jinx? I said this material world is not a place of misery. This is a reality. When it comes to whom, that person only knows it. And if I want to know what happens, go to two places. Here, crematorium, you don't see anything. You go to India, you go to crematorium every day. Somebody's body is burning. What does that mean? One day I will also be there. So, what is the purpose of life? To get out of this life. I don't want to stay here in the material world. Anytime misery could come, and that will completely swap me away. Completely. When these tsunamis come, you've seen these people have palacious houses near the seashore, swept away. That's how the wave of Maya works. Gone. Whole life changes. So there are three ways of understanding the knowledge, or there are three ways to acquire the knowledge, or there are, let me put it this way, a first class person who hears, understands, and man, I have nothing to do with this. Let me bash bhakti. Second class, in India there are trains. First class means beautiful train, beautiful aspect. Train same, but section. Second class is what I heard and I want to see it. I heard it, I saw it, right? And then, man, I don't want to do it. The third class person is I saw it, I heard it. No, no, it will not happen to me. This was the situation with me. Not this one in my life is perfect. Even after she got lung transplant, my part was I think there was this karma, this is got over now, bhakti will grow, we'll perfectly fine. Sata. Within 1 to 2 years. When it hit second time, it hit so hard. Couldn't do anything. So this material world is like a sandstone. Some of us have experienced, some of us not. Which is if you stand on the sand and if it is sinking, you're building the house on this, which will not stay. That's why Jesus Christ says, don't build your house on the bridge. What is the purpose of the bridge? To cross over. That's why these instructions are important. So, real knowledge is to get out of this world and understand what is most awaiting luxury waiting for me is to serve Krishna and spiritual world. This tree, being the reflection of the real tree, is an exact replica. There are relationship in spiritual world, there are relationship in material world. The relationship in material world are to exploit each other. Whether you want to believe or not believe it, I'll give you one example. If you want to try, you can always try at home as well. This was a hunter. His name was Mrigrari. He was killing animal, and his livelihood was on that. So one time Narad Muni came to him. He said, why are you killing animals? Oh, that's like my daily bread and butter. I have to earn livelihood, right? He said, okay, do you know what will be the result of what you're doing? He said, no, I'll show you. So that was the first time live telecast happened future. You see T20 coming in this that is just perverted many centuries after. At that time, he saw him a TV. Look at this. You kill this deer is coming, and now you are a deer, is chopping your head. Ah, that is me. How? Like that, he showed all the animals he killed. Man, what do I do? But I have to take care of my family, right? Okay, you go and ask your wife, will she take your karma? Ask your kids whether they will, whatever you're doing, they are ready to take your karma. Will they? Okay, I'll go and ask. Went in. Hey guys, I worked for so many years, 40 years, 50 years, and I just got to know I'm accruing karma by killing. Will you share my karma? What is the answer? Any thoughts? No. Hey, that is your job. You have to earn livelihood for us. We have nothing to do with your karma. You want to try it out, you can try it at home. Came to Narada Muni. Oh, yeah, I don't know this. Can you help me? Yes. What do I do? Come here, I'll teach you the mantra. You chant this mantra, and then you get the perfection. Right? That's the reality of this material world. Right? This tree being the reflection of the real tree is an exact replica. Everything in this world, we were talking about relationship. Everything is there in the spiritual world. The impersonalists take Brahman to the root of the material tree, and from the root, according to Sankhya philosophy, come Prakriti Purusha, then the three gunas, the five gross elements, then the 10 senses, mind, and etc. So, what happens from the top? First is this material nature where we are living in. That is called as Prakriti. Second is Purusha. According to us, the Purusha is a man, right? Who's the enjoyer? It is said Purusha, but we are not the enjoyer. We are Prakriti actually. Can I say I'm the enjoyer? Well, I could say, oh, I'm earning salary. If I go and see Apple store, I see iPhone 15 or 16. I have money. I can buy. I can control. I am a Ishvara. Do you think I can do that? Then the question comes in is, okay, if you are the controller, when COVID came, what could you do? I was hiding in a bathroom room or one bedroom apartment, not even getting out to take the food out. That's our condition. We are not Purusha. Only Krishna is the Purusha. Lord Vishnu is the Purusha. Then the three gunas, that was the topic of previous chapter. Rajogun, Tamogun, and Sattvagun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. And below that is what? Five gross elements. What is our body made of? Earth, water, fire, air, and ether. If you see, when we die, when our body is burned, all these five elements go back. Like this guy, Kumbar, what do we call in English? Yeah, one who makes the pots, right? He makes out of this thing, right? Earlier times we used to have everything in that whatever pot they will make. I'll just think we didn't have steel glasses or anything like that. We would drink, they break, again they make out of that thing, right? Now we call it a recyclable. That time we didn't have any recycle, but this was by default design. That's how our body is made of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. When we die, go back to square one, right? So that's the thing. Then the 10 senses, mind, etc. In this way, they divide up to the whole material world into 24 elements, right? If a Brahman is the center of all manifestation, then material world is a manifestation of center by 180 degrees, and other 180 degrees constitute the spiritual world. I'll skip this part. The material world is perverted reflection, so the spiritual world must have the same variegated net, but in reality. What is the difference? All the relationships which I was telling are there in the spiritual world also, but not with the exploiting mentality. Not with the exploiting mentality. I want to serve you. When I came first time to ISKCON temple, when I was entering, they were like big guys, really at good position in the company. They were welcoming everyone. When I entered, they were welcoming me, and they were welcoming with such a heart, such a such a love. Man, they must be looking for something. That was my thought process. What are they looking for? Are they looking for money? Because lot of donation,
Yeah.
prasadam free. Free?
Listen.
I was in Australia at that time, I want to share. So which means if you have to go out, and Australia is, at that time wasn't like US. So if you got to go to Indian restaurant, if you have to eat something, it's like $20 a dish at that time. Um, I'm like, free? Okay, maybe they'll give some, peanuts or something like that. Rice, sabji, dal, chapati, and then sweet. Free?
Yes.
I can't understand. Why are they giving free? They must, some expectation will be there. Must be something. They will ask. Then one person will call on Friday evening. Prabhu, come for dinner. Why is he calling me? He would feed me dosas, idli, chutney.
Unlimited.
Oh yeah, you eat as much as you want, hot, hot. Not that in kitchen here they pre-made and then they warm it up in microwave, give it to you. Oh, these are fresh samosas ever in your life, and you will see they are coming from freezer from the same Sai grocers, being fried and then giving it to us. And I'm paying $10 here where I can get $1 here. You would serve, and on top of it, freshly made cake. Why? Why is he giving something? He's expecting, not for a day, happening for months. Oh man, they are really consistent. What are they looking for? Nothing. What are they looking for? Nothing. That relationship is not on the material plane. That relationship is on the spiritual plane. Whatever I am doing is I want to give it to others. That's the whole idea. I'm not working hard to exploit others. You have your best friend. You want to test it. You go and give him a big slap. You think he will hug you? He'll hug you. He'll give you another slap. He'll give you two back. Why? You are exploiting me. I'll exploit you. Right? That's how this material world works. Right? Unfortunate thing. One time, I want to discuss this. This is a wonderful part of this, and we will end with this pastime. One time, Bhrigu Muni was sitting with sages. They thought, who is the greatest personality? They don't come to material world to see whether Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos are the big. These guys are. We are living in gutter, so we are not counted. Whether I'm living in better part of the gutter or worst part of the gutter is a gutter. So we are not talking about that. Who is the supreme lord? So Bhrigu Muni is assigned a task. You go and figure it out. So Bhrigu Muni is a son of Brahmaji. So Bhrigu Muni comes first to Brahmaji. Now, at least earlier times, there was an etiquette. If I go in front of my father, I'll offer pranam. So this guy went in. Brahmaji thought, love, man, he's my son. How are you? He didn't even look at him. Brahmaji. Brahmaji got angry. And he was like about to curse him. But then Mother Saraswati says, no, 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 leave him. He is your son. So what did he do? He neglected him thoughts. Right? So Bhrigumuni understood one who cannot control his anger cannot be Parameshwar. Left from there. Next person. He came to Lord Shiva. This is not the point of degrading them. That's not the purpose of the story. The purpose of story is to talk about the supremacy of Lord Vishnu. In material world, we say when supreme means something has to be inferior. No, that's not the point. He came to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is a brother of Bhrigumuni. He is a son of Brahmaji. So we all know Lord Shiva. What wears? He wears snakes and all, right? And he has all the this thing, but ashes. So he came to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva came. Oh my dear brother, please come and hug me. Hey, you look at yourself. What are you wearing? You have the snakes, and you're wearing this all this stuff. I don't want to touch you, man. You just get out of it. When was the last time you used the bathroom? When did you take a bath? Lord Shiva became angry, and he was about to open his third eye and dance. Mother Parvati came, oh, he's your brother, man. No, 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 no. Let him go. He may have bad time, just let him pass. Pragumani, he's not supreme. So thoughts, words. What is the offense? First was ignored the thought offense at the thought level. Second is at word level. He used the wrong words. So,
Shiv.
right? He came to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu was lying on a Sheshnag. Mother Lakshmi was massaging his feet. Bhrigu Muni came. When Lord Vishnu saw, welcomed him. What he did, he 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 with his feet, he actually hit Lord Vishnu's chest. Thoughts, words,
Action.
actions. Lord Vishnu said, "Oh, my chest is so hard. It may have hurt you. Let me massage your feet." Who is Bhrigu Muni? Brahma's son. Who is Brahma? How is Brahma created? Lord Vishnu
Yes.
creates him. So, and from a relationship perspective, he is his grandfather, right? Indirectly, if you talk about what is Lord Vishnu saying? Let me massage your feet. And he realized he's a supreme personality of Godhead. So when we come, why I'm bringing this concept or this story, real relationships are not give and take. That's spiritual world. So spiritual world, all the relationship, everything in the material world is a perverted reflection. A relationship where even between the husband and wife is pure in spiritual world, not to enjoy each other, but to serve each other. In the material world is perverted. I want to enjoy. Right. So this chapter, it's already 8:32. We will continue from verse to chapter 15 to actually discuss it further. What is the purpose of this chapter? We said the first section of this is how do we lift our feet from one boat to the other boat, not the spiritual to material, but material to spiritual. And this chapter will talk about how do I become asakta, how do I become detached from this material world and then come to the spiritual plane. Any questions or comments?
The between Prabhuji, you said that there are three type of rajas.
Hmm.
What are
Three
they?
times of gunas.
Hmm.
Sattva gun, rajogun, and tamogun. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. Mode of goodness, being nice to each everyone. Mode of passion, hey, I want to want this, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Mode of ignorance, I want to sleep 24 hours a day. I have nothing to do, my laziness. So these are the three modes which cover us completely. And because of which we sometimes we are in mode of goodness, sometimes goodness is very less in this world. It's more most of us are affected by mode of passion and ignorance. But spirituality is all about practicing this bhakti so that we can come to the platform of goodness. Does it help?
Goodness is all about seva.
Goodness, seva is one part of goodness.
Mhm.
One may do seva by distributing liquor also, but that's not seva. Am I making sense? Right? So, for an example, one person is going to kill another person. He says, "Hey, can I get the knife? I want to kill you. Yeah, I want to do seva. I'll give you a knife." That's not seva. So that's perverted reflection. So I know you were not mentioning about you were not thinking seva from that perspective, but I just want to clarify. Seva means seva to Krishna and his devotees.
Mhm.
Right? That's the thing. Makes sense, Prabhu. Any other questions?
No.
Okay. Naresh Prabhu.
No.
Any questions online?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you all for joining. Shila Prabhupada ki jai. We will continue next week from verse 2,
15.
15.